we're going to be talking about the subconscious mind, going over what the subconscious mind is, the purpose of the subconscious mind, the duty, its job, what it's here to do for us, how it's working for us, and the power of the subconscious mind, as well as going into how to harmonize with the subconscious mind, how to build and cultivate that relationship with your subconscious mind, and how to strengthen the power and benefits of your subconscious mind. So we dive in deep. And so anybody who wants even more insight than what this video has, I have the book Structure of the Mind that'll go over, the conscious mind, subconscious mind, superconscious mind, and things, and how the three intercorrelate and how they are tools for you to use so that you can increase your self-awareness and know yourself more. So the subconscious mind, first off, is the mind that your soul uses within the fourth dimension. We are here in this three-dimensional reality, and the subconscious mind is the mind that our soul uses in the fourth dimension. Three dimensions, length, width, and depth. And that's the key for the separation between us and two-dimensional entities like AI and things, is that we have depth. There is depth to our thinking and the way that we think and calculate and things. But the difference between the fourth dimension is time. So we, in the three dimensions, we are stuck in this present moment, that ever evolving present moment. Whereas within the fourth dimension, you can freely move about time just as freely as you can move about your space that you're in right now. You can move into the future, into the past. You can move into multiple different possibilities and lines of probability in the future and the past. The past ain't set in stone, just like the future isn't set in stone. And so our soul will be the vehicle that our consciousness uses within the fourth dimension, and the subconscious mind is the mind that vehicle uses. And so the more that we can understand our subconscious mind, then the more that we can understand ourselves beyond these physical bodies as physical beings, understanding ourselves beyond just physical beings. And so the subconscious mind, it's receptive. The subconscious mind and conscious mind are two halves to a whole. The subconscious mind is receptive, the conscious mind is aggressive. Like in the conscious mind video that we talked about, it's there. When you wake up, your waking mind that you're using, those thoughts are coming in. It's there, it's present. There's nothing you can do about it. It's aggressive. That's why it's hard to control a conscious mind. It's hard to control your mind. It's hard to control your thoughts. It's hard to control your attention. It's hard to control your imagination. It's hard to control your memory. The three keys of the conscious mind. And so when you are like, a good thing to think about is like a dog and a cat. If you put a dog in a brand new room, it's all over the place, sniffing everything. If you put a cat into a brand new room, it's going to be just as nonchalant as anything else. It's not going to run up to you and start, getting your attention, calling for your attention, wanting you to pet it. It's going to sit over in the corner waiting to receive you. Because cats are receptive, dogs are aggressive. So the mind's working the same way. The conscious mind is very aggressive, though. Those thoughts are coming through. Your subconscious mind, the intuitive thoughts of the subconscious mind, are more receptive. So you have to put yourself into a more receptive space in order to receive and even perceive the intuitive thoughts of the subconscious mind. Because those are where your intuitive thoughts are coming from. If you're having intuitive thought, it is a thought within the subconscious mind. The intuition is the power of the subconscious mind. And so the subconscious mind is, the conscious mind has just one level, one dimensional. It's the physical reality is the only plane of existence that the conscious mind is capable of operating in. The subconscious mind has four different planes of existence, four different dimensions. Like I talked about in the conscious mind video, there are three divisions to the mind. Like you see right here, there's three divisions: the superconscious mind, the subconscious mind, and the conscious mind. There's 7 levels within those three divisions, but it's just those three divisions. And we're just talking about the conscious mind and subconscious mind. They're two halves to a whole here. And so the more that we can understand those two, then it'll position us to be even in a better position to understand the superconscious mind and work closer with our own spirit. But anyways, the conscious mind has the 1 level and the subconscious mind has the 4 levels. The first level, going within the subconscious mind from our conscious mind, is the emotional level. That's why we feel our emotions, because it's adjacent to us. You know what I mean? I can't feel the painting in the background, but I can feel my clothes because it's adjacent to me. You know what I mean? And so our emotions and feelings, we can feel those. When you go deeper, then you're into the astral levels, the lower astral and the upper astral. This is mostly where people are at when they're dreaming, the majority of the time. If you're in the emotional level dreaming, then you're having like black and white dreams. If you're in the lower astral level, then it's kind of like technicolor type, like regular dreams, most people's regular dreams, the colored dreams, how you see your physical reality. If you're in the upper astral level dreaming, then it is more like vivid, vibrant, like pastel, strong colors. Like you can tell the difference in those dreams. And then the upper, even above that, the 4th level, deepest into the subconscious mind, is the mental level. It's the furthest away. In the furthest level within the conscious mind is furthest away. That's why your thoughts you don't feel your thoughts as strongly as you feel your emotions. You know what I mean? That's why your thoughts don't grip you as strongly as your emotions grip you. You can have a thought and entertain it for a while before it'll sway you into action. You know what I mean? You can have a strong thought and you'll contemplate it for a while before it moves you into action. If you have an emotion, a strong emotion, a lot of times people are swayed into action immediately. You know what I mean? Immediately, right away. So our emotions are closer. It's easier to perceive and identify and experience than our thoughts. Our thoughts are more subtle, like the wind, blowing like the wind. That's why the wind in dreams, in the universal language of the mind, represents your thoughts. And so what part of the main reason why I feel it's important for any individual, whether you're, spiritually minded, metaphysically minded or not, the part of the reason why I feel it's so important to identify and understand the subconscious mind and the metaphysical mechanics of the subconscious mind is because our thoughts create our reality. Whether you believe it or not, it's happening. It's true. And so your thoughts create your reality. And the way that they do that is through the relationship of the conscious mind and subconscious mind working together. Just like you have the aggressive male and the receptive female. And I'm not talking about, every male is aggressive and every female is receptive. I'm just talking about the general nature of humanity and humans. And so just like the aggressive male and the receptive female create life, so does your aggressive conscious mind and the receptive subconscious mind create. And it happens in the same way. You know what I mean? The aggressive thoughts of the conscious mind incept the seed thoughts into the womb of the subconscious mind in that mental level. You know what I mean? Like you have this mental level, upper astral, lower astral, emotional level, and physical level. So you have the thoughts of the conscious mind incepting into the womb of the subconscious mind, deep into the mental level, where it gestates until it continues to build in density. The more energy you feed, energy flows where the attention goes. What you put your attention on grows. So the more attention you give to a thought form, then the more it will grow and gestate within the subconscious mind. Just like a seed planted into the womb of a woman is going to grow and gestate as she becomes pregnant. It will develop. It'll grow legs. You know what I mean? It'll start to grow organs. It'll start to be easier to perceive. Okay, now we can identify, what the gender, the sexuality, and now we can identify the length, and now they can even see the percentile and dimensions and things. They can identify different things going on with it. But anyways, you can do the same thing within the thought forms within your subconscious mind, especially when you're working with your dreams, because dreams are happening within the subconscious mind. So a thought is an image. You know what I mean? And so a thought is an image. So when you're going into the subconscious mind and you're looking around in your dreams and you're looking around, the different images that you are seeing are the different thoughts within the subconscious mind. So you can also go in, do your own internal ultrasound and perceive the thoughts that you are going to be giving birth to. You know what I mean? Your thoughts create your reality. This isn't just some metaphysical concept. It is real. And this is how you can interact with those thoughts. This is how you can more clearly identify the thoughts within your subconscious mind. You know what I mean? The thoughts that are going to be creating the experiences that you will have, the thoughts that are going to be creating the person you will develop and evolve into. And so it'll continue to gestate, and the more dense it gets, the more it will fall into the lower levels, from the mental level into the upper astral, the lower astral, and then the emotional level. And then that's when you'll start feeling more things like if you're consciously using visualization, your ability to control your imagination, which is your image making capability. So your ability to create images within your mind, and a thought is an image. So it's your ability to create thoughts within your mind, and your thoughts create your reality. So it is your ability to consciously create the reality that you will move and evolve into. If you are doing that consciously, then as this is gaining density and it gets into the emotional level, you will begin to start feeling the emotions of your energy manifesting. You know what I mean? Like I said in the other video the other day about emotions are road signs. You know what I mean? And they are road signs. Emotions are road signs, and they are there for you to identify, what you need to give your attention to. But emotions are also, one thing that it can help you identify, in addition to what I was talking about in the video, is you can use your emotions to identify what thought is, because the emotions are tied to a thought. They originate at thought. Thought is cause. Your thoughts create reality. Thought is cause. So your physical experiences, a thought is at the root cause of it. Your health and dis-ease, your thought, there is a thought at the cause of that. Who you are, who you become, what you experience, there's a thought at the cause of that. All of your emotions, that's everything going on the physical level. All of your emotions, there is a thought at the root cause of every emotion, because that emotion is purely the essence of that thought manifesting out into the physical reality. Because like I said, you have the different levels, and as the thought's moving out, the emotional level is the last level that it moves through until it manifests. So that's why people talk about tying emotions to thoughts when they're trying to manifest something. And so you will, when you see that, you will be able to identify what thought is moving. If you're having a positive emotion, then that is evidence that there is a thought that you are desiring to manifest that is moving out into the physical reality. If there is a negative or unproductive emotion, then that means that there is some thought that is manifesting or has manifested for you in your life that you weren't wanting to manifest. And so use your thoughts to identify those things, or use your emotions to identify that. And so that's kind of how a thought moves through. And there's different things, like with the mental level is where the thoughts originate. The upper astral level, the element with that is fire. And so fire is very expansive. You set fire to a piece of paper, it's going to expand throughout the entire paper. Fire seeks to expand. And so as you have a seed thought that you're planting into your mind, then your mind will expand into all of the different possible ways, every infinite possible way to manifest that thought, and the likelihood of each possibility. And then the next lower level, the lower astral level, the element of that is water. And so water is a little bit more dense than fire. And so it will contract down out of all of those possibilities. That thought form will then to become a little bit more dense and start to contract down into the most likely. What is the easiest way to manifest and bring about this thought form? You know what I mean? Like, I know a lot of people, and I've experienced it myself, where I'm like, man, I need a new job. Well, the fastest way to get you off your ass and get you a new job is to have the old job swept from under you. You know what I mean? Got laid off one time, and it was a dude everybody knew was stealing. The bosses knew was stealing. The owner knew was stealing. He kept his job, but they laid me off for some reason. But it was all right. I was like 22 at the time. I had 3 jobs at the time, so I wasn't tripping. But anyways, but that's what I didn't really want to be there. I wanted to create something else. So universe pulled that out of my way for me, and it initiated me to have a different replacement job the very next day. So that wouldn't have happened. I would have kept lingering if not. So the universe, so you got to be very clear in what you're imaging. because when that thought form moves into the upper astral, is going to contract down into what is the fastest, easiest pathway to have this manifest. And then it gets into the emotional level, which that element is earth. So it's even more dense. And so that is where it's going to start to, you're going to start to see signs, and that's where the emotions come up, because you're starting to see evidence of what's manifesting, either good or bad. See positive evidence of, oh, this is manifesting, or negative evidence of something you're unconsciously creating for yourself. But anyways, that's kind of the metaphysical mechanics of the subconscious mind as far as manifestation, a quick overview. Now, the main thing to understand as far as like why do we need to pay attention to the subconscious mind? Our whole, as we learned in the conscious mind video, our whole purpose for living in these physical lives is to understand, our whole purpose for existence, period, beyond these physical bodies, is for self-awareness, to understand who we are. You know what I mean? A lot of times people ask who you are, and you think about everything of your related to your conscious mind, your physical body. You know what I mean? I'm Tarak Uday. I'm the metaphysical master. My little brother coined that for me, and I'll take it. I'll move it on and run with it. But who am I? I'm a father. I'm a husband. I'm a friend. I'm a hard worker. I'm this. I'm that. Sometimes I can be lazy. Sometimes I can be stubborn. I'm a Taurus bull. So who am I? If you only answer that question with physical attributes or qualities of your physical life or your waking mind, then you are only looking at 5% of your true existence and your true reality. You know what I mean? You aren't even any of those things. That's just the byproduct and programming based upon this conscious mind, this physical vehicle. You know what I mean? That's not even your true essence. But anyways, our whole existence within all of reality is to understand ourselves, become more self-aware. And so in the physical reality, our consciousness uses the physical body and the conscious mind to create experiences for ourselves. That's the job that our conscious mind has. And the purpose is to then learn from those and build understandings of, having a deeper understanding of what peace really is, having a deeper understanding of what abundance really is, having a deeper understanding of what love really is, having creating experiences for ourselves so that we can learn from them, to be able to have a deeper understanding of responsibility, have a deeper understanding of honesty, have a deeper understanding of communication, have a deeper understanding of leadership, have a deeper understanding of humility, have a deeper understanding of creation, have a deeper understanding of family, have a deeper understanding of community. You know what I mean? Every single experience that you have, there is an opportunity to learn something from. And that's the purpose of the conscious mind. Well, what does the conscious mind do with that? You know what I mean? When you learn a life lesson and it causes you to have a deeper understanding of yourself and have a deeper understanding of these different things, what happens with that understanding? Well, it's fed into the subconscious mind. You know what I mean? And the subconscious mind stores it away. So everything that you've learned in life, in this lifetime, is stored away in the subconscious mind, where you can access it. You know what I mean? That internal wisdom that can just come to the forefront of mind. You don't have no reason to know that it's true or not, but it just comes, this knowledge that just comes into you. A lot of people say it was downloaded. No, it's just insight from the subconscious mind. Or it could be coming from deeper in your spirit, you know what I mean, your superconscious mind, but it's still gonna have to come through the subconscious mind to happen. And so when you work with the subconscious mind, then if that's the duty and purpose, well, the whole purpose of the subconscious mind is just that, to store those understandings. You know what I mean? That storehouse of wisdom. And it's not just happening for everything that you're learning and understanding in this lifetime. It's also all of the lifetimes that you've lived. You know what I mean? So many people sit there and think about and talk about, death. Death is at the root of 99% of the decisions and actions and thoughts of 99% of the people on the planet, because they are ruled by death. You know what I mean? All of the religions, especially like Christianity, not all the religions, but I say that just because in America, you know what I mean, Christianity is the forefront, the religion that's at the forefront within the culture. And so, all of that is driven by fear. You know what I mean? Anybody in here, I know either if you are a Christian, you probably talk to people trying to bring them to Christ, or you've had somebody try to bring you to Christ. You know what I mean? And what was the number one tactic that they used? Fear. What is the number one motivation that they have? Fear. Most of them don't want to go to heaven. They want to avoid hell. I mean, and they're afraid for you to avoid hell. And there's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? There's nothing wrong with that at all. Whatever motivation that they have to fulfill the purpose and understand themselves. You know what I mean? Understand, having deeper understanding. They creating experiences for themselves to have deeper understandings of faith, having deeper understandings of divinity, having deeper understandings of the Creator. You know what I mean? All type of things. And so there's plenty of good from that, but fear and death are at the forefront of so many thoughts, and not just people, not just people with religion, everybody, not everybody, 99% of people. Death is at the forefront of everything. What am I going to do when I die? What happens when I die? Oh no, I'm getting older. I'm aging. I'm not as young. I'm not as healthy. You know what I mean? Everything you choose is a choice. If you dig deep enough, at the root of it is a fear of death. But no one spends nearly as much time focusing on their existence before this lifetime. What were you doing before this lifetime? You know what I mean? They talk about Earth is millions of years old, billions of years old. Humanity is millions of years old. Even the people who think it's the youngest still think it's thousands of years old. You know what I mean? What were you doing all them time? You just never existed until 1988. You never existed until 2005. You never existed until 1962. Like, no, come on now. But anyways, all of the understandings that you've built up through all of these lifetimes are stored away within the subconscious mind. And now, if you think about the majority of what you access within your mind is the knowledge you've attained within this lifetime, then it's truly immense when you think about what could possibly be within the subconscious mind waiting for you to access and unlock it from the knowledge that you've stored up through all of the lifetimes. You know what I mean? And we ain't even getting into, the fact that in the very dead middle of the subconscious mind, the center of the earth, not the center of the earth. I'll get into that in a second, but the very center of the subconscious mind is the Akashic records. You know what I mean? In between the astral, upper astral and lower astral. You know what I mean? The Akashic records is there. So that holds every vibration that's ever reverberated. You know what I mean? You have access to. So all knowledge, not just contained and built up for you, but throughout all of life and all of existence, you can access as well. So that knowledge and availability is there. When I talk about it, the center of the earth is because the earth represents the subconscious mind in all holy scriptures. And in the Emerald Tablets of Thoth, he called the Akashic records is called the halls of Amente. He says the halls of Amente are located in the center of the earth. You know what I mean? That's just also reiterating that, this is ancient knowledge. You know what I mean? The Akashic records are in the center of the subconscious mind. But anyways, you have this immense wisdom available to you. And if the way that you can access it is, like I said, the conscious mind is aggressive and the subconscious mind is receptive. The thoughts of the conscious mind are flooding through. You know what I mean? How many of y'all put in a comment or a chat if you experience any type of anxiety or ADD or anything like that, because your thoughts are always moving and you have no control of them. You know what I mean? It's a very common experience for people. And so that's because the conscious mind is aggressive. And so if we want to perceive and receive from the subconscious mind, then we have to find a way to still the thoughts of the conscious mind to then create space within the conscious mind for the subconscious thoughts to come through. And so that's why the main meditation that people talk about, and when people think about meditation or when they try to meditate, they're focused on stilling their mind, because the still mind meditation is one of the most beneficial meditations, but you have to have a level of control over your attention. You have to have a level of strength with your concentration. Your concentration is your ability to control your attention. This is why the Keys to Success course is the first course that I created, teaching you how to control your attention, how to strengthen your concentration, how to control your willpower, how to strengthen your willpower. And so that is at the basic foundation of any, not just any spiritual practitioner or initiate, but also any individual who wants to progress in life in any way. Because anything that you do in life, you need to give it your attention if you want to complete it, if you want to accomplish it, if you want to succeed. And so the more you can have control over your attention, then the more control you will have in how efficient you are in achieving these things, in achieving these goals, in manifesting these desires that you have. But that's a power of the conscious mind. You know what I mean? And so back to the subconscious mind, though, in order to access this storehouse of wisdom, you have to be able to create space within the conscious mind. And it takes practice, you know what I mean? And yeah, it may be difficult, but that's because you have to stick with it, So many people want things done for them or done easily. Like, man, let me just click a button and be able to concentrate, Tarak. You know what I mean? You would be amazed out of the probably 800 people that have started the course of the Keys to Success course. There's probably like 10 people that have gone through the whole thing. Because first, as soon as you open it up, first page, bow, you got to do work. If you want anything to come from this, you're going to have to work from it. You know how many people get past that first page? Like 50% of people don't even go past that first page. It's like, I got to work for this. I'm good. I'd rather stay scattered and anxious. You know what I mean? But anyways, these things are simple, but it does take work. You have to stick with it. You know what I mean? If you try meditation, it's not working for you, keep with it. You know what I mean? If you go into just like if you go into the gym, going 1 week, it's not going to produce any results. You got to stick with it. And the longer you stick with it, the more results you see. The longer you practice concentration, anybody can Google a concentration practice. You know what I mean? I asked ChatGPT for 20 different concentration practices. You know what I mean? You do a concentration practice doing the dishes, doing your laundry, you know what I mean? Anything. But it's just sticking with it. And so the better that you can do that, then the more efficient and better you will be at creating space within your conscious mind to receive the intuitive thoughts of the subconscious mind, to receive the wisdom that you stored up this whole entire lifetime and all of your lifetimes. You know what I mean? When you talk about past lives and things, like me, when I am interested in receiving knowledge and information on my past lives, it's for a purpose. It's because I want to identify what lifetime afforded me the learning and knowledge that I need in this present moment to do things. You know what I mean? Most other people, when they talk about reincarnation or past lives, I wonder if I was this. I wonder if I was that. You know what I mean? I bet I was in Egypt. I bet I was a Native American. You know what I mean? And don't nobody say, man, I bet I was a slave owner. You know what I mean? I bet I was a murderer. You know what I mean? Nobody says that. like, you know what I mean? In the spiritual space, talking to different large groups of people, I done come across people coming up to me and saying, I'm the Green Tara reincarnated. You know what I mean? I'm the Buddha reincarnated. You can go, there's at least one person in downtown of every city. I'm Jesus Christ. You know what I mean? Don't none of them come up to you. I'm Jack the Ripper reincarnated. You know what I mean? But that's just because it's fun, to think about yourself in that way. It's fun. It's festive. Just like lucid dream. When you talk about lucid dreaming, most people want to lucid dream because of the fun things that you can do instead of being purposeful with it and utilizing that experience and that tool to position yourself to be in a greater position to increase your own self-awareness. You know what I mean? But anyways, so in creating and cultivating the ability to create space within your subconscious mind and receiving more information that you've built up through all of these lifetimes, it puts you in a position to have far greater knowledge than you can ever have. Any question that you can formulate in your mind, you can find the answer within. And this is how you do it. And this is what, and I'm explaining all about the subconscious mind so that you can understand why this is. Why is it that I can access information and the answer to any question from within myself? I mean, all technology is a reflection of your own human consciousness, the own technology of your consciousness. Why do you think knowledge is in the word technology? You know, it ain't spelled the same way, but it's based off of that word, the etymology of the word technology. It's the tech of the knowledge. And so, you know, visualization. You can communicate, like right now we communicate, but we don't need this technology in order to do so. You know what I mean? I can expand out my thought throughout the entire earth. All of these thoughts that I'm saying out loud, I can express out and have available to anyone on the other side who, instead of watching through this video, can put themselves in a receptive state and perceive that same thought and receive it. We don't even need words to communicate. Our words are only communicating the images within our mind. And then you take those images and create and recreate that same image within your mind with those words. You know, ChatGPT, you know what I mean? And search engines. When we want answers to things, that's where we go to find answers. But you don't need to go outward to find answers to anything. You can go inward. And so this is how this works. This is how this happens. And this is how you do it. So that is the purpose of the subconscious mind, to store those understandings that we build up within our life from the things that we learned through the experiences that we have. Now, the duty of the subconscious mind, just like the duty of the conscious mind is to create the experiences for us to fulfill the purpose and learn from, the duty of the subconscious mind goes back into manifestation. The duty of the subconscious mind is to manifest the thoughts of the conscious mind. Like I said earlier, the way we create our own reality, our thoughts create our reality. How does that happen? Well, the thoughts of the conscious mind are implanted into the womb of the subconscious mind in the mental level, where it then gestates and births out, like I explained earlier. Well, we're having 1,000 thoughts at a time. I mean, you have like 80,000 thoughts in any given 18-hour day, you know, that you're awake. 80,000 thoughts. Now, are all of those thoughts manifesting? No. For one, you may be having 80,000 thoughts, total thoughts, but you're not having 80,000 different thoughts. You know what I mean? A belief is a thought that you continue to think. So your strongest beliefs are just the thoughts that you think the most. So you may have, you know, 1,000 different thoughts, or 2,000 different, you know, or maybe 10,000 different thoughts, but a lot of them are the same thought going over and over and over and around and around. You know what I mean? Who all's ever had a tornado dream? I mean, like I said, the wind in your dreams represent your thoughts. So a tornado dream is just those same thoughts going around and around your head all day long. I used to have tornado dreams all the time. Before I got like deep into metaphysics, really before I got into metaphysics at all, I used to have tornado dreams all the time. Once I really, because I was into different things early on, it was like I would learn and study this. I would read these books and put these things into practice. And then that would lead me to this, and this would lead me to that. But once I really got into a regular meditation practice, and at the very same time, I started a daily concentration practice. I would do both. 10 minutes of concentration. I started out with 5 minutes for like 2 weeks, and then I moved up to 10 minutes every single day. And then I started with a 15-minute meditation, and then eventually moved up to 30-minute and then 45-minute. But anyways, 5-minute concentration exercise and 15-minute meditation exercise. When I first started, I would do it every single day, and never. I mean, I can't say never. This was 12. Well, what's it? 2025, 12 and a half years ago. So wait, no. It's 2011, 14 years ago that I first got it. So about 13 years ago when I started doing this, I would have tornado dreams all the time. Ever since then, maybe 1 or 2, but never like, I mean, I would have tornado dreams where like you look across the horizon, boom, there's a tornado. And then all of a sudden, 16 more tornadoes just, and they're all converging on this center point, like that type of tornado dream. Maybe I might have a dream where it's like, I walk out a house and there's a tornado there, and then I'm assessing it, identifying, you know, and then it's, you know, 10 seconds later, it's not there, and other things going on with the dream. That's maybe happened like once or twice in the last 13 years. But before then, it was like once a week. But tornado dreams, if you have those, it's just that same thought swirling around and around. So we have so many thoughts, 80,000 thoughts. But out of that, the duty of the subconscious mind is to determine which thoughts are going to be the ones that are manifested. That's what its job is. And it has no bias. You know what I mean? Like I said, a thought is an image. You know what I mean? Your conscious mind and subconscious mind communicate all day long and all night long. They're communicating with each other. And so when you understand how they communicate through thoughts. You know what I mean? And your thoughts are images. So there is no auditory with an image. You know what I mean? A picture is worth 1,000 words, but it ain't saying none of those words. You don't hear none of those words. You know what I mean? You perceive it. And so that's the same thing with your thoughts. So the reason I'm saying this is if you have a thought of, I don't want to be late. You know what I mean? I don't want to be late. I don't want to be late. The only image in your mind is being late. You know what I mean? If you say, I don't want to be broke, I don't want to be broke no more. I don't want to be broke no more. That's a negative image because this is what I don't want. I don't want to be broke. So you're only imaging being broke. You know what I mean? There is no auditory. Like if you knew that I want something and you're trying to find out what I want and I'm over here, keep on pointing to this, you're going to think I want the book. You know what I mean? Even though I'm yelling, I don't want this book. I don't want this book. I don't want this book no more. I don't want this book. You know what I mean? You're not hearing any of that. You're only seeing this image. So as the subconscious mind, if you're saying, I don't want this, I don't want that, and you're thinking of the things that you don't want, those are negative thoughts. You know what I mean? If you're thinking in the negative of, I don't want this, I don't want that, I'm tired of this, I'm tired of that, then the subconscious mind is only seeing what you're giving attention to because energy flows where the attention goes. What you put your attention on grows. So the subconscious mind is like, because that's the duty of the subconscious mind is to determine what out of those 80,000 thoughts you have a day, what is getting the most attention of, okay, this is what you want. Okay, here you go. Let me serve it up for you. And then you sitting there like, man, shit's always fucked up because you don't have control of your mind. And also you don't understand the mechanics of the mind. And this is a large reason why I'm sharing these things for you so that you can understand the mechanics so you can better identify, when you're running late to work, like, oh man, I don't want to be late. Oh, hold up. Let me stop for a second. I want to be on time. And then while you're driving, you can just, at the next red light or whatever, you can just picture in your mind, pulling into where you need to go, getting out, feeling relaxed, looking at your watch. I'm on time. I made it. Feeling comfortable, going in, greeting the people that you're meeting with. It's a lovely feeling. There's no apologetics. So you don't want to think there's no apologetics because you're only thinking of picturing yourself apologizing to them. No, it's only positive thoughts of greeting them. It's fun, it's festive, and so on. You know what I mean? And so it's very important to ensure that the thoughts that you're giving to the subconscious mind, which is every single thought that you have, is a positive one. You know what I mean? So it's very important to identify all of your thoughts because whether you're conscious of the thought or you're unconscious of the thought, it is being fed to the subconscious mind. It is on that conveyor belt to the subconscious mind of manifest this, manifest this, manifest this. Every single thought you have is a telegram, a DM straight to the subconscious mind. Manifest this for me, manifest this for me, manifest this for me. When you get your paycheck and you open up the bank account and you see what the paycheck is, and like, man, that's not enough. I need more money. Manifest needing more money. You know what I mean? When you get a bill and think the same thing, I need more money. Manifest needing more money. You know what I mean? When your car break down and you're like, man, fuck, my car's always breaking down. Manifest my car breaking down. You know what I mean? And so every single thought that you think is a straight DM, straight to the subconscious mind on what you want to manifest. So make sure that that's another reason why you want to be in control of the conscious mind. But anyways, we're talking about the subconscious mind. So that's the duty of the subconscious mind, is to manifest the desires of the conscious mind. How does it know the desires? Because of the thoughts that are communicated from the conscious mind. Whether you are conscious of the thoughts that you are thinking or unconscious of the thoughts that you are thinking, every single one of those thoughts are still being communicated to the subconscious mind. So that's his job. And it's clocked in all the time, overtime, 24/7. I mean, like I said, the subconscious mind is in the fourth dimension. So there is no limitation on time. You know what I mean? Subconscious mind working now, in the future, in the past. You know what I mean? You can only work in the present moment. But anyways, we understand the purpose, we understand the duty. Now the power of the subconscious mind is intuition. You know, we talked about the power of the conscious mind being reasoning. And the three keys of reasoning are attention, memory, and imagination. You know what I mean? Your visualization is your ability to control your imagination. Concentration is your ability to control your attention. The more that you strengthen these and the more that you strengthen your memory, then the more stronger of a reasoner that you will become and the stronger your conscious mind will become, which is the main mind you utilize the most at the forefront. Now, intuition is built off of reasoning, but intuition is what it is your direct grasp of truth. Your ability to know something is true without having any reason to know that it is true. You know what I mean? And so whenever you have an intuitive insight, that's a way to identify a subconscious thought. You know what I mean? That was me receiving a subconscious thought. So we already talked about how do you receive subconscious thoughts? By stilling the conscious mind and creating space within the conscious mind so that you can receive the thoughts of the subconscious mind. And so when you do that, and the better that you are at doing that, then the better that you will be at consciously receiving intuitive thoughts. Whenever you are in a moment of life and you feel you need to pull upon your intuition, then you know that you need to first put yourself in a receptive state. That's why one of the first things people naturally do, start breathing. Because the subconscious mind is the mind that our soul uses, and the breath is what ties the soul to the body. So the more we can breathe, taking deep breaths, the more we're going to relax the body. The more we relax the body, then the more we can relax the mind, the conscious mind. The more we can relax the conscious mind, the more space we can have within it to then receive the intuitive thoughts. And so with that, another resource for us being intuitive and the subconscious mind having the intuition, which are the thoughts that provide us with the knowledge of something being true without any reason within our experience to know that it's true, is one, because the subconscious mind is operating within the fourth dimension. So it's free of time. It's not limited by this present moment. It can go and access every single infinite line of probability of what could possibly happen into the future. It can go and experience every single possibility and probability within your past. It can access the Akashic records of anything that could have possibly ever occurred. You know what I mean? And so so that's also a part of the source of the intuition. And then also the subconscious mind being the storehouse of wisdom for your entire life and lifetimes is another reason why our intuition is our ability to have a direct grasp of truth, because we've built up this knowledge. We've built up these understandings. You know what I mean? Like if everybody think about their life and as kids and as just developing humans early on. And it was natural for me to just think about how my actions and choices affected other people. But I saw how other people had no care in the world on that. You know, for you, maybe it's that you just naturally understood, friendship. You just naturally understood forgiveness. You just naturally understood silence. You just naturally understood activity. You know what I mean? What we can all look back and think about what made us different as children than other people. And that's going to give us a lot of insight into the understandings that we've already strengthened in past lifetimes that we were birthed into this lifetime with. Even before we started building any experiences and building any knowledge within this lifetime, you already had a lot of things that you understood and knowledge that you had available to you. And so that's that storehouse of wisdom that you've come into this lifetime with that you still have now. You know what I mean? And for a lot of us, there are, pockets of wisdom within that storehouse that we have sealed off until a certain point in life. Not necessarily like a certain age, but a certain development in consciousness. Because everybody can age in the physical reality, but are you really evolving consciously? You know what I mean? You can be 40 but still act and think like you 15. You know what I mean? And you can be 25 and act and think as if you're 55. You know what I mean? And so those access points we can set up to where it unlocks more wisdom within ourselves at certain positions and points. Where once we evolve consciously to this point, boom, new wisdom that we already have within us is unlocked and opened up for us and available to us. You know what I mean? And that's also tied into kind of like different life points also are correlated in that way if we set it up that way. But it's usually because in those certain life points, it's a point in life where we're positioning ourselves to accelerate and propel our consciousness to pass that threshold. Like your Saturn return, I'm about to make a video on that next. Your Saturn return at 26 to 29 and 52 to 54. You know what I mean? Those 50, 55, those, and then, the next Saturn return, if you make it there, those points in life is yes, they are physical milestones, but also is positioned to propel you further towards what you are designed and desiring to do as a soul within this life. And some people fight it and some people ride the wave. But anyways, that's not what this video is about. But that access and storehouse of wisdom that you have available to you, that is also a resource of the power of your intuition and the power of the subconscious mind. So now we understand what the subconscious mind is, why we have a subconscious mind, the purpose, its duty, what it's doing, its job that it's clocked in for, and also the power that it has. So then what can we do to build that relationship and cultivate that relationship and accentuate that purpose and that power, fulfill that purpose and accentuate that power? Well, number one way that you interact with your subconscious mind is through dreams. Through dreams. It doesn't matter what you believe about dreams, whether you believe them to be a chemical reaction or not, whether you believe them to be real or not. Some people, they haven't dreamed in so long that they don't even feel like people are lying. You know what I mean? But anyways, no matter what your relationship is with dreams, you are dreaming. You are having dreams. You are, your physical body needs to sleep. Your conscious mind needs rest and ability to reset, but your consciousness doesn't. So when you go to sleep every single night, your consciousness is shifting from the physical body into your astral body, and it is moving about the planes within the fourth dimension, in the astral planes. And you're looking around at the thoughts within your subconscious mind, because the thought is an image. So you're looking around at the thoughts within the subconscious mind, you're able to perceive, you're able to interact. You know what I mean? Now, I highly suggest for anybody who, like with lucid dreaming, where you're consciously aware that you're within the dream, or astral projection, both the same thing, just different levels of understanding and awareness. But I highly suggest anyone not to interact with anything until you understand. Thank you, baby. Until you understand what it is you're interacting with. You know what I mean? So that's why you need to understand the universal language of the mind. Understand the language the language of images. Understand this language of what these images are producing or reflecting, replicating, representing. And so when you go into a dream and you see, a dog sitting there in the dream, you want to know how to interact with it. You don't want to just willy-nilly do something with the dog. You might change something, within yourself. Death represents change. You know what I mean? If you go into there's a story of someone who's studying this same stuff, and they understand animals represent habitual, habitual ways of using your mind. Like, for example, I had a very strong habit when I was younger of I need more money. You know what I mean? I wouldn't consciously choose to think that. It was just a habit that my mind would go there. You know what I mean? I would get a bill in the mail. I need more money. Like, I have enough money for it, but I need more money, man, because it's taking away from my money. I get a check even. I'm getting paid, and I'm still thinking, I need more money. It's not enough. I need more money. I'm not looking at the check and thinking, I want to consciously choose to think about needing more money. I mean, it was just a habit. But anyways, so that's what I mean by a habit. I don't mean like smoking, those physical habits come from a mental habit, but anyways, not necessarily a mental habit of what I'm talking about. So animals will represent that. He had a tiger in a dream, and he killed the tiger because he understood. He had a lucid dream. There was a tiger there, and he killed it. So because he understood death represents change. That's a habit. Oh, it's a habit. It's a powerful habit trying to change me. He's trying to kill me. This habit is trying to change who I am. Well, let me just kill it off. Then he woke up, came to class, and was like, yeah, I did this in a dream. Teacher was like, okay, well, what did the tiger represent? What was the mental habit that you just changed? I don't know. I don't have no clue. Well, you might want to figure it out. Then a couple weeks later, came back to the teacher and was like, I've been getting real sick. Anytime I smoke a cigarette, I'm getting real sick. Like worse than normal. I don't know what's going on. It was like, that was that habit that you changed. You went into yourself and created mental surgery, essentially, and you cut that out. So your consciousness is going to respond differently if you continue with those same things. You know what I mean? And so, like, for example, I had a dream once when I said, when I suggest people who lucid dreaming to not change anything, but use their lucidity to just observe and identify and have more awareness of what they're experiencing within the dream. Well, I was to a point where I understood the universal language of the mind enough to know what I was doing. I know what I'm interacting with, So anyways, there was a person that was exhibiting that they were confrontational. So I became lucid and I realized, oh, this is a confrontational aspect of myself. And I consciously chose, okay, I no longer want to be confrontational. So let me kill this off. And then when I woke up, I also consciously realized that I need to move forward in life and and consciously ensure that I am no longer being a confrontational person. I was very confrontational at that time. Very like people that know me now, they think I'm joking when I talk about how confrontational I was. I wasn't like, confrontational, just, smack somebody walking down the street or nothing, but it was just like, if an issue is presented, I'm pushing the issue. You know what I mean? It wasn't healthy, but because not just because I've changed those habits, but I also initiated that change with removing it from within myself. That shift was very rapid. Like I went from being a confrontational person to more at peace and harmonious in my interactions very rapidly. like I had a friend at work, like I said, it was just a habit to be confrontational. And so it wasn't even like we were ever at blows or really mad or upset at each other, but we were both the same way, very confrontational. So it would be like intellectual arguments that we would have that would get very heated. And I remember one time, like within like a week of having this dream, it was the first time where I really needed to realize, like, oh, this was that person that I changed inside of myself. I need to make sure I'm not like this. And because he looked at me, he said something. We were talking about like perspective and the power of perspective over your reality and things. And he had said one thing, I said another, and we had our positions. And he looked at me, he's like, man, you're stupid, man. You're a fucking idiot. And I'm sure he was expecting me to come over the top with something else. But I just stopped and looked at him. And that was the moment that I realized, oh, this is where I normally am confrontational out of habit. This is where I bring the energy and push the issue. You know what I mean? And I looked at him and I thought, and I was like, man, I'm just being stubborn. Maybe he's right. And so I looked at him, I said, you know what? I'm going to think on that. You might be right. And if you are, I'm going to come back and let you know. And you could just see in his face, like, what in the world? Like he was so confused because that shift was so rapid. It wasn't like he could tell I wasn't just saying something just to say something. Like I was generally different and changed. Because if you go into your dreams and start changing things around, moving things around, you will genuinely be different and truly changed by the time you wake up the next morning. You know what I mean? And so that's why I don't yet have a public, astral projection or lucid dreaming teaching or course for anybody to receive. I do have a book that I'm writing right now, but it's definitely going to have a lot of different insight and understanding to set you up to be able to understand more of the universal language of the mind and things before you get to the techniques of how to consciously put your body to sleep and project out of your body, your consciousness, with awareness. But anyways, the dreams is the biggest area of your life and access point that you have to working with your subconscious mind. Because every single night, your subconscious mind, which is aware of everything you're aware of and everything you're not aware of, is giving you a message every single morning. You wake up with it, whether you remember it or not, you wake up with a message every single morning of how best to approach your life that day. What needs your attention the most that day? Because your dreams are a reflection of how you use your mind. Because like I said, you're going into your subconscious mind and looking around at the thoughts within the subconscious mind. The subconscious mind is the mind that manifests, those are the thoughts that manifest and create your reality. So everything you're looking at are thoughts that are moving from the mental level that you've planted out into the emotional level to push out and manifest into physical reality. So you're looking at everything that you're going to be manifesting for yourself. Every experience you're going to be manifesting for yourself. The type of person you're going to create and become and evolve into. And so that's why I say dreams are the greatest tool for self-awareness. So in working with your dreams, you can, it's so powerful, man. I'm telling you, it's so powerful. I can't even express enough. Like if I could take all of the metaphysical knowledge and all of it had to be wiped away, and I can only keep one thing, that's the one thing that I would keep, because from that I could reproduce all of the rest. You know what I mean? And so anyways, that is the number one suggestion that I would make. And, you can go join the, take the dream interpretation masterclass and understand there's a ton in there. I have another book, Life is But a Dream, Understanding Yourself Through Understanding Your Dreams. But, even for free, there's a dream glossary available within the Metaphysical Mastery community that anybody can utilize. Because if you go to Google or, AI or anything, they're going to only give you reflections primarily, for the most part, based off of like Freud and Jung, which is far off base. There's a little bit of some symbols that are accurate, but the majority of it is off. So because then when you put all the pieces together, that's why you get more confused than before you looked anything up. You know what I mean? You go and Google your dream, each symbol, you're gonna be more confused than when you look it up. If you use that dream symbol glossary and you look at all the symbols and put it together, it's gonna make perfect sense. 100% clarity. You know what I mean? Every single time. I'm telling you. But anyways, I couldn't suggest working with your dreams, or at the very least writing them down, and you may intuitively receive the insight that your subconscious mind is trying to tell you, even without understanding the language. But it truly is a language. It's literally becoming bilingual through understanding that language, and then that'll create even more greater insight for self-awareness and what you're really experiencing in life and how to break things down. But anyways, the other thing that I would suggest, the second greatest thing that I would suggest for working with your subconscious mind, strengthening the abilities of the subconscious mind and ensuring that you're fulfilling the purpose of the subconscious mind, is through the working with your breath. Now, working with your breath, everybody here knows some type of breath technique. If you're watching this video, you've come across some type of breath technique. Honestly, it really doesn't matter what you do. You know what I mean? The word spirit comes from the Greek word spiritus, which comes from the Latin word spirare, which means breath. You know what I mean? So by working, you can't truly be a spiritual person without working with the breath. You know what I mean? You can. I don't care. I ain't gonna tell nobody who they are, who they aren't. But you will accelerate much more rapidly your spiritual progress and development if you do work with your breath. But the breath is what ties the soul to the body. You know what I mean? So to cultivate that stronger connection, you got to work with your breath. So it doesn't matter what technique you do, whether you make up your own thing, but just give attention to your breath. That's the main thing. Number one thing, give attention to your breath. I remember I had a 2-week period where that's all I did. It didn't matter how I wasn't trying to breathe any type of way. I was just trying to watch how my body was naturally breathing. And it was really cool because when you first start doing it, it's hard to breathe regularly. Like the way that you breathe when you're not watching your breath, it's hard to continue breathing like that when you're giving it your attention, because immediately the conscious mind wants to take over. It wants to override the subconscious mind that's been operating the breath. I mean, the all the parasympathetic systems within the body are run by the subconscious mind. You know what I mean? And so when you give your attention to it, the conscious mind naturally wants to take over. And so by doing this, just watching the breath and allowing it to just breathe how it wants, one, you're naturally going to be more receptive. You're naturally going to, as you get good at it, you're naturally going to allow the subconscious mind to continue to remain in control. And I remember one time I went to over in Cincinnati at Xavier University. They have these, I don't know if it's still there, but they have these 3 outdoor courts, like with Gorilla goals, lights. You know what I mean? You can go there at 2 a.m. and hit the dial and turn on the lights. I remember me and my best friend, once we was playing Madden, arguing, and the arguing turned into basketball and who was better. And then our other friend had just showed up. We was like, all right, we putting $100 on this. Let's go down to Xavier Courts right now. We went down there. It was like 2 a.m. Cut on the lights. He was the ref, and we played and battled it out. You know what I mean? I didn't get the money because it was a controversial last point and it was argued over. So, you know, even though I won, it was controversial. But anyways, that's not the point. I went down there at the time when I was doing this technique. I went down there and it was like everybody was down there. It was always competition there. Like the best in the city would show up there to play. And one day it wasn't a whole lot of people there that day at that time of day. I just got off work. So it was like 4 in the afternoon. Most people didn't really start getting there till like 6 or 7. But we started playing some 4-on-4 on half court. And this is like 2 weeks. That's all I was doing. I wasn't like, while I was reading books, I'm just really in the back of my head, my attention going to that. While I'm at work, in the back of my head, I'm really just trying to watch my breath the whole time. So it's like 24/7. I've been doing this. I'm waking up doing it. I'm going to sleep doing it. And it gets to a point where it's just, I'm just now in this flow of it's just all my attention, just always watching my breath. And I started playing Batman. I swear to God, I missed one shot out of like 30. It was funny, like watching the other team's face. They was getting pissed. Every single person rotated and guarded me at some point. Cause at one point I was just throwing up shots just to see if it would still go in. Like my teammates just stopped even playing. They would just check the ball and just pass it to me and sit there and watch. Cause everybody was amazed at how this was happening. It was only happening just because I was just watching my breath. The whole time I was playing, my whole attention, I can't say my whole attention, but the primary majority of my attention was on my breath. But anyways, that's just a story that I have on that, doing that specific technique. You can do any technique. Well, no matter what it is, just give your attention to your breath. That's it. That is going to increase and intensify your intuitive insights. And that's how I was able to do that because, you know, like Steph Curry, he's the most pure shooter because he shot the most shots. So his muscle memory is the most finely tuned out of anybody on the planet. And so he doesn't have to think about it. He can just, and so even though I have not shot anywhere near as many shots as Steph Curry, I was shooting lights out, like him on his best day of his life. You know what I mean? Because I was also able to remove the conscious mind and allow the intuitive subconscious mind to control all of that. My whole body was being controlled by the subconscious mind because my conscious mind was 100% on the breath, focusing on the breath. But anyways, that's the number 2 technique that I would suggest. Not necessarily that technique, but doing that, working with the breath and giving your attention to your breath. Number 1, working with your dreams, giving your attention to your dreams. Number 2, working with the breath, giving the attention to your breath. And then number 3 would be journaling. Journaling, because like I said, the subconscious mind, the duty of the conscious mind is to have experiences. The purpose of the conscious mind, which is the mind that your physical body uses. So the purpose of being in a physical body is to take those experiences, learn something from them, build an understanding off of that learning, and feed it into the subconscious mind. The purpose of the subconscious mind, the whole reason we even have a subconscious mind, is to have a place to store those understandings so that we can further fulfill our own purpose of existence, of knowing who we truly are beyond just this body, this soul, this spirit, this mind. And so in fulfilling that, the reason I say journaling is because the journaling is going to help you break down your life experiences. The easier that you can break down your life, just like your teeth break down your food, and the more you can break down your food, the easier it is to digest. The same thing with your life experiences. The more that you can break them down, the easier it is to digest what's happened, the easier it is to swallow what's occurred. You know what I mean? It's a hard pill to swallow. Well, break it down. Then it's not so hard to swallow. And then once you do that, then just like the physical body extracts the nutrients, and those nutrients become a permanent part of your body, the organs, the tissue, the muscles, the bones. Same thing with your life experiences. The more you break them down, then the easier it is for your conscious mind to identify the understandings and feed that into the soul to become a permanent understanding, and that becomes who you are, a permanent part of your consciousness. And so journaling will help you to break down your life experiences, which will help you to fulfill the rest of the things on that event. You'll be better at digesting your life experiences. You'll be better at extracting, identifying the lesson. You will be better at extracting the knowledge, and you will be better at feeding that knowledge into your soul, which will make you more intuitive. And so journaling is the number 3 thing that I would suggest today. There's no special way you got to journal. Just like I would suggest writing down your dreams and journaling your dreams every single morning when you wake up, I would also suggest every single night before you go to sleep, you write down what you experienced, and just write down whatever thoughts come to mind. You know what I mean? It doesn't have to be anything. You don't have to write down, well, at 9 a.m. I woke up, I brushed my teeth, I went to work. You know what I mean? Just whatever it is about the day or about it doesn't have to be about that specific day, just whatever's on your mind at the time. You know what I mean? Oh, okay, I guess they think I'm some robot making me do a puzzle real quick. But anyways, you want to just, whatever's on your mind, just write about it, and just keep on writing until there's nothing left to write. It's no set time, like I gotta write for 5 minutes, I gotta write for 10 minutes. Just write until you're done writing. You just use your intuition to naturally guide yourself on how to do this. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, you watching this video and learning these things, but so many people look outside of themselves for direction and guidance. And that's the purpose of this video, so that you no longer have to do that so much. You can find that guidance and insight through your own intuition, through your own subconscious mind, through your own soul, your natural teacher, your inner teacher that's guiding you along every single day, that's there ready to help you, guide you throughout the day, every day. And the stronger you can build up your intuition, then the more you can create yourself at being capable of doing that. But anyways, that's it for this video on the subconscious mind. There'll be another one on the superconscious mind soon. The next one I'm gonna be dropping is gonna be on the Saturn return, to help with people who are about to go through that, are going through that, have just gone through that. So that's people around the ages of 26 to 29, or around the ages of 52 to 54, 55, and then around the ages of 78 and to like 80 something. So if you on YouTube, man, you ahead of the curve. But anyways, with all of that, I'll leave you in peace.